Hey guys, welcome to my channel Hairliciously. So today I wanted to cover another video talking about derma rolling and minoxidil for hair growth. I did a video on this topic about a year ago, but I wanted to give you guys more updates, and since you guys had a lot of questions regarding this topic, I wanted to go ahead and answer some of the questions that you guys had. So as you guys know, derma rolling was initially used for skin rejuvenation. It was treated for acne, scars, stretch marks, but studies did indicate that it did result in hair growth when used in conjunction with minoxidil. And so before I get started, I wanted to show you guys my hairline. So here's how it looks up close. Now I am just shy of hitting my 2-year mark in November, and this is under just direct sunlight. So as you guys can see, the hairline design is there, but the density is a little lacking, and like I said, I'm still in the process of looking for a good hair transplant doctor. I'm planning on having one after the wedding, but as of now, I can't really do much because, you know, if I do end up getting one right now, it's probably going to be noticeable during the wedding. So here's how it looks. So for a lot of you guys who are suffering from hair loss, you guys want to do something that has proven results. Obviously, we have Finasteride and dutasteride, which are FDA approved and known to result in hair regrowth, but there's a lot of unwanted side effects for that. But minoxidil and derma rolling is actually one of the less invasive, and it's a therapeutic technique that is known to regrow hair in men and women. And so one of the common questions that I get when it comes to using minoxidil and derma rolling or even any type of hair treatment is, why am I doing it even after I've had a hair transplant? So as you guys know, hair transplants, the only thing that it does is it pretty much gets the hairs in the back of the scalp, which are for the most part DHT resistant, and you are extracting them from the back of the scalp and implanting them into areas where you are balding or where it's thinning or which is completely bald. So the hairline, in my case, about 1 centimeter behind it is the original hairline, and that is where the area, it's still going to be prone to male pattern baldness, and that's why I'm taking Finasteride, I'm taking minoxidil with derma rolling to be proactive to prevent and slow down hair loss, because the implanted hairs, for the most part, they're not going to fall out, but the hairs behind it, which would be my original hairline, is still going to be prone to male pattern baldness. So this is why I do use minoxidil 5% and derma rolling with Finasteride and different types of supplements, including vitamin D, pumpkin seed oil, a bunch of other stuff, shampoos, to make sure that I can slow down my hair loss, keep what I have right now. So before I get started, I wanted to show you guys and explain to you exactly what the mechanism is behind minoxidil and derma rolling when it comes to hair regrowth. Now, derma rolling is used to increase blood flow to the hair follicles, and it actually activates the skin's natural regeneration process. This is the roller that I use. It causes mini injury to the skin, which triggers a wound healing process. So this is the 1.5 millimeter derma roller. And in the study that I'm about to discuss with you, they actually used this once a week in conjunction with minoxidil 5% twice a day for a period of 14 weeks. So after 14 weeks, they found that hair regrowth was significantly higher in the group that actually used both minoxidil and derma rolling versus just the group that just used minoxidil. So derma rolling actually helps with absorption for better penetration into the skin barrier, but we actually don't want to use that when it comes to minoxidil with derma rolling, because the study regrew hair effectively even though minoxidil was not applied immediately after derma rolling. Absorption doesn't really have much to do with it. It's the whole process of regeneration, producing collagen and proteins that would start growing hair. There's been a lot of debate when it comes to applying minoxidil with derma rolling right after, because a lot of people think that it's for the absorption, but it's not, because what is going to happen is, if you create these tiny puncture wounds using the derma rolling and use minoxidil right away, there's a good chance that minoxidil is going to go into your bloodstream, and it's going to cause unwanted side effects of minoxidil, which can cause heart palpitations, headaches, dizziness, things like that. So I am actually going to stick with the study, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do it according to the study. There might be some slight variation depending on each person, because each person's bodies can react differently. I wanted to stick with how the study was done, and let me go ahead and show you guys exactly what I do. So this is the minoxidil that I use. This is the 5%. This is the Walmart version, Equate, which has 60 milliliters. So if you use it twice a day, 1 milliliter each, this would last you 1 month. And this is the derma roller that you guys can purchase on my website, hairliciously.com. This is the 1.5 millimeter, and this was the one that was used in the study. So the study consisted of about 100 people, and what they did was, like I said, they split into two different groups. One group was using minoxidil 5% twice a day and derma rolling once a week for a period of I think it was 12 weeks, and then we had group 2, which only used minoxidil 5% twice a day for a period of 12 to 14 weeks. Now at the end, they actually counted the hairs using some type of microscopic device, and it turned out that group 1, who actually were using both minoxidil and derma rolling, had an average of 91.4 hair counts versus 22.1 in a 1 centimeter squared area that they focused on. Some pretty good results just by using derma rolling and minoxidil. And so the study didn't really indicate exactly how hard they actually had to use a derma roller as far as pressure, but I did find that if you were using somewhat of a moderate pressure, nothing where it's going to cause bleeding, because a lot of people are under the misconception that, you know, when you use derma rolling you would have to bleed, but that's not the case. I did read another study where they actually did it for about 15 to 20 minutes, and they stopped after they started seeing slight redness. So here is the derma roller. Before you use it, you want to go ahead and sanitize this with rubbing alcohol. You want to keep it in there, dip it in there for about 5 minutes, and then rinse it off with warm water, and then you can go ahead and proceed. So the way that you guys want to do this is you want to focus on the areas where you are suffering from thinning or hair loss. In my case, it's going to be the hairline right behind the area where I implanted it. So you want to go ahead and do it vertically, horizontally, diagonally. So you can do it for about 15 to 20 rolls. So sometimes if you have longer hair, it kind of gets in the way and it might end up pulling it, but just go ahead and part it out, and you just want to rub it like this. And then you also want to do it vertically a few times, and then diagonally. So I actually do this across the whole hairline, and it probably takes me about anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. But this is after I used minoxidil about 24 hours prior. So minoxidil comes with a dropper. It's pretty simple to use. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and get 1 milliliter, which you guys can see on here, about that much. And then you want to go ahead and disperse it into different areas on the scalp that you are either receding or balding. So my weekly schedule, so what I do is normally for Sunday, I wake up at 5 in the morning, take a shower, and then I apply minoxidil. And then I come back that night from work or whatever. Right before I go to bed, I would apply minoxidil again. Now the next day, Monday, what I would do is same thing, wake up in the morning, put on minoxidil, and then right before I go to bed, I would derma roll. So it's not necessarily 24 hours, because if I were to put minoxidil at 5 in the morning, and then if I went home and then right before I went to bed I did derma rolling around 11 or 12 in the morning, and then it's not necessarily going to be 24 hours, but I think it's enough time for the absorption of minoxidil right after minoxidil not to happen. So the following day after using derma rolling, you obviously don't want to use minoxidil in the morning, so I would skip that, and then that following night, or even if you want to do it in the afternoon, you can go ahead and try minoxidil. In my case, I do it twice a week for derma rolling, and I'm going to be leaving my schedule in the description below so you guys can take a look and see if you guys want to try it. But yeah, after you guys are done, pretty much wash it, same thing, use rubbing alcohol, dip it in, and then dry it out, and then store it in an area where it's not going to collect a lot of dust. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Make sure to subscribe, like this video. And one last thing, a lot of you guys, since I'm talking about the topic of minoxidil, I am actually going to grow my beard again, or attempt to grow it, but this is going to obviously happen after the wedding. I will start immediately after the wedding, so it's going to be starting in November. I will be derma rolling and using minoxidil to try to grow it out. So I mean, obviously I can't do it during the wedding because it's going to look pretty husky, and I don't know how patchy or how it's going to look. But since you guys are wondering, I am actually going to go back to it, and I'm going to be keeping you guys with the results. So thanks again, guys, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care.